here we are with some KOF15. If you know how I feel about this game, I hate this game, right, because of the, matchmaking problems that they never fixed, and instead they wanted to add, hundreds of dollars worth of DLC. And I recently found out that there's actually a website for this game, where you literally go on the website. I think it's called, is KOF15 matchmaking still broken? Is that what it's called? I think that's the name of the website. And you log on, and it explains the whole problem to you, and it explains, how long the matchmaking has been broken. And, funny enough, yeah, it's been broken since, like, day one, and they haven't fixed it yet. So, yeah, so you're probably wondering, if you feel that way about this game, why are you playing it? Well, good question. If you don't know, KOF13 Rollback was announced, and I'm pretty much just getting ready for that, right? This is the most convenient KOF to play because it's the newest one, although, arguably, it's the hardest KOF to play because finding a match is a literal mission. But assuming you can find a match, it's the most convenient to play. And most KOF games have pretty similar neutral. So, even though the combos are different in KOF13, the neutral is pretty much the same, for the most part. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about. That's why I'm making a KOF video. But as you see, in the title of the video, there is the massive Tekken news. This news was just casually dropped by Harada himself on Twitter. Literally not even a big announcement. It was just a casual... He just casually said it. Like, it's not a big deal. But I respect the reason on why he said it. It was a very good reason. Pretty much he said, the reason he didn't make a big announcement for these things is because if he did make a big announcement, there would be people replying to the announcement saying like, oh, well, why are you announcing these things? These things should just be in the game by default. So that's why he didn't make a big announcement, because people would just say, oh, well, this should have been in the game anyways. But if these things that I'm talking about, is he casually announced Rollback. Excuse the helicopter. I don't know if you can hear that, but he just casually announced a Rollback, right? Now, if you don't know, Tekken 7 is one of the biggest fighting games of all time, and it has garbage netcode. Here is what I'm worried about for Tekken 8 Rollback, because Harada has said many times that Tekken 7 is using Rollback. It's not, right? It's not using Rollback. He has this idea in his head of what he thinks Rollback is, and he's been, notoriously stubborn about Tekken 7 netcode. So when he's talking about Tekken 8 netcode, does he mean it uses the Tekken 7 Rollback, whatever it is, or is he talking about actual Rollback? I think it's safe to say he's talking about actual Rollback. He probably realizes, his mistake. By the way, excuse this gameplay. This is like my first match. Don't worry though. Don't worry. I get him back. I swear, I get him back. But yeah, I think it's safe to say he's talking about actual Rollback now, instead of whatever was in Tekken 7. That was something else. But that was only one of the things he said. The other thing he said was that he is adding, well, they are adding Crossplay to Tekken 8. So Tekken 8 is going to have Rollback and Crossplay at launch. And I forgot about this until right now. There was a third piece of news where he specifically said that Tekken 8 will have a lot more characters than Capcom. So what he means by that is Tekken 8 is going to have an absolutely insane roster compared to Street Fighter 6. for me personally, much more would mean 30 characters, because Street Fighter 6 has 18 characters at launch. And if you want to make a big difference, I would say 30 is the, like, that's a lot of characters. I mean, 18 is already a good amount, but 30 is, I mean, he specifically said Capcom. I'm not, like, you can check this out, I'm not making this up. He specifically said a lot more than Capcom. So, you know, I'm not expecting 6 more characters. You know, even though 6 more characters is a lot, I don't know. He went out of his way to say that. I don't think he would add like 24 characters to a game or something. I think 30. And he already said a few weeks ago that the game has a lot more than Tekken 7. But he didn't clarify if he meant Tekken 7 arcade or Tekken 7 console. If he meant Tekken 7 console, then we might be getting like 35, 40 characters at launch. But if he went arcade, then we might be getting like 30. A high 20s, something like that. So yes, Tekken 8 is going to be a next gen only, so it's gonna be the maybe Mortal Kombat 12 will look better. We don't know if Mortal Kombat 12 is gonna be next gen only, but as of right now, it's going to be the best looking fighting game with crossplay and rollback, and it's gonna have the biggest roster out of any fighting game since maybe, I don't even know. I mean, I'm trying to think, you know? And here's the thing, I don't count KOFXIII because almost everything from KOFXIII is reused for KOF14. It's not a new game, really. Tekken 7, or Tekken 8 is surprising because Tekken never makes new things. They always reuse stuff from the previous games, but yet Tekken 8 is over here pretty much remaking every single character. So we're gonna have like a huge roster, crossplay, rollback, and next gen only, so the game will run the best it could possibly run while also looking better than any other fighting game. I can't lie to you, it definitely makes me feel bad for Street Fighter 6. I can't lie. Because, don't get me wrong, everyone knows Street Fighter 6 is going to be absolutely fire. But compare the graphics between the two, right? Street Fighter 6 already looks outdated compared to Tekken 8, and I think that's going to get worse when Mortal Kombat 12 gets announced. Because I think MK12 will look better than Street Fighter 6. I mean, thankfully Street Fighter has really good animation, right? But not good graphics compared to Tekken 8. You know, it has, you know, better graphics than Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5. It's just that compared to what we're going against, in my opinion, it looks worse than Project L. It looks worse than Tekken 8, and it might look worse than MK12. So I do feel bad about that. And yes, Street Fighter 6 is on PS4, right? But yeah, I mean, that's obviously why Street Fighter 6 is being held back graphically, because of it's on the PS4. Yeah, feels bad, man. It feels bad. I think Street Fighter 6 had what, like 3 or 4 months to impress people, and then Tekken 8 got announced, and like to the casual audience, I mean, Tekken looks insane. So yeah, I like Street Fighter. Of course I'm gonna buy it. Of course it's going to start the next generation of fighting games. It's going to be probably the best Street Fighter game ever. Well, I'm just saying, you know, it already looks outdated and it's not even out yet. Just because of what Tekken 8 is showing us, and I have no doubt that Mortal Kombat 12 will look amazing as well. So yeah, you know, it's definitely hurt in that regard. It's still going to be a good game though. Graphics have nothing to do with a good game, right? That's just obvious. That's never been the case, and it never will be, you know. It's just that to casuals, I feel like graphics are a big deal, and like I said, Street Fighter 6 is going to be lacking. In 1 year, Street Fighter 6 is going to be, it's going to look garbage. I guarantee it. But like I said, that's fine. It's going to be a fire game, right? It's going to be the most fun Street Fighter game probably ever. And content-wise, Street Fighter 6 might be better than Tekken 8, content-wise. We really have to see how that story mode goes. But, yeah, this might be a better game than Tekken 8 overall, or even it might even have more content than Mortal Kombat, which is crazy because Mortal Kombat is like the content king when it comes to fighting games. But I mean, yeah. Anyways, I just want to talk about Tekken 8 news. Yeah, Tekken 8. I don't even know what to say. It's just looking great. Will Tekken be the #1 fighting game of this generation? Because it's fair to say that Tekken 7 was the #1 fighting game of the PS4 generation, but will it do it again? That's the question. I'm gonna say it's gonna be close because, you know, Capcom, they ain't messing up this time. They ain't messing up. But yeah, like, subscribe. I'm gonna have a video tomorrow. Don't know what it's gonna be about, but yeah. And yeah. Peace.